So much a girl has to face. There's so much a girl has to face even before birth starts a survival race. The world around goes by the rule of survival of the beast, not the best. Every day she lives, she has to face a new challenge and a new test. There's so much mess she has to face that everyday life seems like a whole new maze. Broken, shattered, and torn, with their mere will, smiling, they still stand strong. Even after playing so many roles, still her life feels empty and never feels whole. You would be amazed when you listen to challenges and dangers they every day face. Being a girl is not an easy task. Try living her life, and even for a day you won't last. Being a girl, it's complicated and not as easy as it seems. Their faces smile even when in pain they bleed and their heart screams. Physically tired and emotionally drained, a week every month full of weakness and pain. Every month they suffer pain. What's the benefit? What's the gain? Often hurt and betrayed, things are not always as they are portrayed. With no hormonal rush, life gets absurd. Pace of heart gets flushed, the soul gets crushed. With no one to hear their silent tears, some days feel like the destiny sealed with darkness and fears. Sometimes being born as a girl feels like a crime. Always busy fulfilling others' dream and wishes to live a life she hardly is left with any time. Always working and never getting enough rest. Things are never good enough when after giving their best. Every day is a random new surprise test. People are never happy and satisfied even when they give their best. The depression and mood swings are often a result of the disappointments, lost dreams, and clipped wings. Since childhood, they live life of confusion and uncertainty. They live their life being independent on destiny. At least once in the lifetime, they all face trauma. Rest of the life is fully mostly filled with drama. Hiding the pain behind beautiful smiling masks, I'm okay will be the only answer you would get when you ever ask them. Trying to act fine, they keep searching for someone to be their life sunshine, often cheated, betrayed, and played, caught in traps of sweet words and false promises so beautifully laid, often being loved not for their heart but only for their looks, messing up their lives, landing up with jerks and crooks. They forget and doubt their worth when they meet people who take them for granted and treat them like dirt, often used, often abused, every time exploited with a different new excuse. Mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted and drained, their mind and bodies end up overly strained, often mentally strong, emotionally weak, and physically meek. True love and happiness is the only thing from life they often seek. Often there are things they can't speak or share because they have been misjudged and hurt too many times by the people who acted concerned but don't really care. With the emotion often mistaken as sign of the weakness, they often shed tears alone in times of their stress, easily gullible, often landing in trouble, often taken undue advantage of their kindness. They end up hurt and in complete mess and distress, living in deep darkness down with killer hounds lurking all around. Safety, risk, and fear is always running in their mind. The world around is full of brutal animals not so kind, always living under pressure of fear, always living a life of fear, thought and thought to often live as a shadow, depending on others to exist and to grow, often made to believe that they are weak and need someone else's help in order to live, often trapped in the belief that Prince Charming can only bring them relief. They need someone else make them whole. A happy marriage is their life's main and often the only goal. Being haunted for dowry, paying money for being loved feels sad and sorry. From a real age, they spend time worrying about spending a fortune on their marriage. It's a price they need to pay to buy happiness and keep taunts and negativity of the world and society away and at bay. Often made to believe they are weak, to take the life decision and speak their heart, they are often restricted to speak. Expected to listen and trust others' advice, they live a life of silent sacrifice. There is so much a girl has to face, often criticized but rarely praised. The amount of sacrifice a girl has to make, leaving behind a home and parents, a new fresh life. As a wife, she has to make. Being the bearer of the new life, she takes on the role of a mother in addition to her duties of a wife. So much sacrifice and risk she has to take, at times like childbirth, putting her life to stake. So much of her daily hard work goes unnoticed, unappreciated, and waste. No one realizes the sacrifice every day she has to make. Often, as a sister, she has to act as a babysitter. Even with brothers, she has to compete to get equal opportunities to study, eat, and live. With no freedom and equal privilege in their life, at every step for equal rights they fight and strive. Often then have to raise their children alone, whom their fathers heartlessly disowns. Often they sacrifice their sleep building their children's future, or worrying about saving them from the world full of danger graves. Always expected to cook and look perfect, like she's not a human but in factory made flawless object, treated as dirt, thought as burden on the earth, often aborted before birth. Sometimes being girl, as a girl, feels like a crime. People turn their backs to these harsh realities, blaming it on the changing time. Going through all these hardships, it's hard even to survive. She must be an angel divine who, even after all these adversities, can gracefully grow, thrive, and even rise.